off with, so he'd probably think that was job well done.
Absolutely. Well, he can't be behind after this opening session, and this is the last frame of this afternoon's first session of a potential 4 in this final.
Well, when the boys got that still up, Dennis, to show where he made it from, and I was suggesting 20 would be a good break, I still think 20 was a good break, and he made 92. That was an unbelievable break. Reminds me of the late, great Alex Higgins when he made a 60-odd break in the semi-final, I think it was, against Jimmy White. Now, can Ali Carter hang on to his coattails again and get out of this session 4-4?
Well, a lot will depend on this opening shot, because there is a gap he can find here. Take that. He got the pot. He wasn't absolutely sure what was going to happen, the cue ball, but look at that for a result. Amazing. And if he leaves an angle on this red, he'll go into the pack because of the red that's to the left there. That'll be a bit of insurance.
9.
Purposely leaving the angle. So this is the key shot. Could open quite a few up here.
Don't know whether he can quite get into the cue ball enough to hold at the back of the pack. He really has got to dig deep. Yeah, played it slower to make sure, because when you play a screw shot, it runs forward before it goes back.
He's brought another 3 into play there, and that's 2 reds,
60.
2 blacks. I'm not even going to talk about it. I know Stephen Hendry was somewhere in the building, but when he sees Ronnie on a couple of reds and a couple of blacks, he starts panicking because he'll lose 25 grand.
As he was telling us that before the match started, he just said that Ronnie seems to be playing so well. That's the only thing he hasn't done this week.
17.
He'll still want the frame. That's his main concern, but you know what he's like. Well, that shows you the focus of Ronnie O'Sullivan. He was on the black, and in the end he thought, it's the last frame of the session, try and make sure that Michaela just using a ball marker just to see if there's enough room for the pink to go on its spot.
Thank you.
Michaela doing her second World Championship final. Been one of our top referees for quite some time now. And,
24.
we have the pleasure of her company on the Legends Tour, and I've got to play Steve Davis on the 16th of May at the Victoria Hall in Stoke, and John Virgo and Mikhail will be there, so we're looking forward to seeing everybody in the Stoke area.
31.
Not quite perfect on this red. As you can see, it will pass the pink. If he just screws it back in a direct line, he needs to leave this black at the black half ball.
32.
May not risk the cannon this time because it's not a great angle. Just slightly mishit that. Played a little bit more stunning. It would have been nearer the red rather than far as close to the cushion as he is. Makes it slightly awkward. There you can see the pot success rate, and that's the difference in the match. It really is. Just Ali Carter's just missed a few more pots than Ronnie. His safety's been better, so he's competing.
Well, this is a completely different break to the one in the previous frame.
46.
And this is the key shot coming up now. He's looked at the pink, but the black is the better angle. And that is beautifully played. I mean, the spin he's got on that to make sure it doesn't stick in the reds. There's nobody plays this shot better than Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He was so close to it going bad, though. Look, if he's at full ball, he just managed just to hit half ball, and like you say, then the spinners just took him through the reds. And the pace, then, how did he generate so much spin with such little pace?
Yeah, with an awful lot of talent, I think, is the answer.
54.
Well, having played what you would suggest is a little bit in and out session, both these players have been playing very tactically. He's just up. Well, he's gone from second gear to fifth gear in the last 2 frames. Very interesting session this has been. He's very close now to taking a 2-frame lead into tonight's session.
Yeah, he's opened with a 56 break, then he had 117, 52, 92, which was one of the best breaks I've seen for a long, long time, if not the best, the way the balls were sitting. But Ali Carter, you know, he's only going to be 2 frames behind because this frame is virtually over.
68.
So he won't be too disappointed with this session. He's competed very well. And considering all those breaks I mentioned, he's only going to be 2 behind. So. Made absolutely sure of the red. He knew he was going to be a little close to the pink, but still fancy this to go in. Every chance now of a century, and this would be the 69th and Ronnie's 11th if he could make it. And as we say, our chosen charity, the
76.
Haven House Children's Hospice, get £200 from a sponsor, Betfred, every time a century goes in. And if we could get to 75, they make it up to £25,000. So
83.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
84.
There could be another 6 in this match, Dennis. So that's the target now, isn't it? 75 centuries to equal the 2nd highest of all time.
yeah, 83 is the record. There's no way we can get there unless
91.
something very special happened.
92.
Well, this is break building at its very best. Every shot he's played in this break has got on. Every pattern he's played, he's played it perfectly. Every pot has gone into the centre of the pocket.
And just over 7 minutes for that century break.
107.
Makes you realise, Willie, that
108.
147 he made in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. You know, it'll stand for all time. You would take that record.
Well, the last 2 frames, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, Ali Carter obviously hasn't scored in the last 2 frames, but
114.
he's had to sit out 2 of the best breaks he'd have probably ever witnessed. The 92 from
116.
nowhere. And he potted this long red to get in here and got a good kiss. Played the kiss probably to get onto the black. And the rest is history.
119.
Yes, I can't wait for this evening session because both players are playing well. But Ronnie at the moment, well, he's flying.
123.
It'd be nice to have a complete
28.
clearance, wouldn't it? And there's every chance it will be a complete clearance. Absolutely magnificent. Ronnie O'Sullivan's last 2 frames were absolutely flawless. The 92 was brilliant. The 141 was even better. But Ali Carter must be pretty pleased with himself, having seen O'Sullivan make 2 centuries and a 90 to only trail by 2 at 5-3.
Well, bewildering speed, 9 minutes for that century, 2nd century of this session and indeed the final, and Ronnie striding back in very purposeful mood. It would appear that the rocket is losing height already on this most recent Crucible mission, gentlemen. Can you just sum up what we've seen in the last couple of frames? It was absolutely staggering stuff.
Well, it's just Ronnie O'Sullivan at his very best. I mean, I'd like to sum it up, but I mean, I think probably only Ronnie O'Sullivan could himself really sort of discuss what was going on there. But if you start and finish a session like Ronnie O'Sullivan has, and if you did that all season, you wouldn't lose many matches at all. It's very strong stuff. Forget the bit in the middle. That can happen in any match. Start brilliant, finish incredible.
In which case, how does Ali Carter now rationalise what has been happening? Because it was so hard fought in the middle of that session for him.
Yes, John.
Well, all he does is just keep playing and hope that he doesn't play like that. I mean, the difference between champions and great champions are they can do different things, and that's what O'Sullivan's done. Despite being bogged down in a session there at 3-3 and looking like they were awkward frames, he's just turned on 2 magnificent breaks and completely turned the scoreline round, and it looks like a really good session for him now.
Ali Carter can't be too disappointed, really. He's going to go back, and Peter Ebdon in his dressing room, they'll be talking about it, saying, well, you can't do much about the 4 frames you lost, the first 2 and the second 2. Obviously, in the middle, you grafted well. So, you know, just come out for the next session and see how it goes.
I think they'll have thought about this. They'd have spoken about it definitely in the dressing room and said, look, at some point in this game, there's going to be a part of it where you ain't going to get a shot.
Yeah.
Because you know that's who you're playing against. So you just have to accept it, sit there and just say, well, when you do, make the most of yours. And
we know that Ronnie's capable of going on great runs, and he has done in every match so far. And in many respects, the end of that session has been a good, timely point for Ali Carter at this point.
Yes, but I mean, there is the possibility that Ronnie O'Sullivan, without breaking into top gear, could win every session 5-3. So Ali could find himself slipping further and further out. But to turn around a session against Ronnie O'Sullivan looks tough at the moment. To beat him in a session, even 5-3, looks very difficult.
OK, well, he's got a little bit of thinking time, both he and Peter Ebdon, to see how they'll come up with a plan to tackle the rocket, because he really is flying at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed this opening bout of this final here at the Crucible. Don't forget the Barry Hearn documentary follows very soon, 6:10, and then stand by for another 9 frames this evening. We'll kick things off once more, 7 o'clock. Catch you then.